What's up guys, this is Woolf from Scratch and welcome back to another Civilization 5 guide. Last week I did the Danish civilization led by Harold Bluetooth, the Viking, not the wireless device. That was a bad pun. Anyway, that's a really interesting Viking raid style civilization, so we can check out that guide from last week. This week I am doing a civilization introducing its own little mod pack. The Mongol Terror, Genghis Khan. Captain Kirk can't see.
You united and witnessed. Your people's cunning diplomacy divided their enemies. In a few short years, your people's soldiers conquered most of China and Eastern Asia. And the empire continued to grow until it reached west into Europe and south to Korea. Indeed, it was the greatest empire ever seen, dwarfing those pathetic conquests of the Romans or the Greeks. Temujin, your people call upon you once more to lead them to battle and conquest. Will the world once again tremble at the thunderous sound of your cavalry sweeping down from the steppes? Will you build an empire that stands the test of time?
Lovely. So, as you can see, Mongolia's special ability is Mongol Terror, where they have a combat strength bonus of 30% when fighting the city-state, the city itself, or when attacking a city-state unit. This is also supplemented by having all mounted units, that is their Chariot Archers, Cavalry, etc., have +1 added movement, which is really nice. You'll find that this special ability is very linked into their unique scenario, Mongol Terror, or whatever it's called. I haven't played it in a long time. But in that scenario, you are fighting a lot of city-states. In a more regular game, you'll find that the special ability is not as useful, and it is very situational, as of course your main combat is against civilizations. And similar to when we did the Germany guide, you're going to need someone to trade with, and that somebody is going to be city-states. So that half of that special ability is wasted. And the real bonus here is that added movement for all mounted units, which fit perfectly for our special unit, the Kashuk. So, the first part of Mongolia, which I can show you straight away, thanks to, is Mongolia's unique replacement for the Great General, which is the Khan. The cool thing about this unit is it gets its own little unit model, and it's also got its own Mongolian leaders, especially cool when you get Genghis Khan. But this, the Khan, the replacement for the Great General, which again obtained through honor as I just showed you, or through regular Great General methods, has 5 movement points over the regular Great Generals too. And already you can see, when we're having a large cavalry force, we've got a unit that can keep up with the cavalry, which a regular Great General cannot simply do. The Khan is also aided by the Enhanced Medic, where adjacent units will heal 15 additional health per turn. This does not include, however, the unit it's stacked on, so just remembering that. And of course, the regular leadership bonuses that this Great General would normally give. So overall, we have a mobile Great General, a mobile medic per se, which is really, really handy, and you'll find it is incredibly useful on your land combat sieges. By far the best Great General in the game is the Khan. So already that's a good section of this Mongolian guide done. Let's move to the fabled unique unit, not the Khan, the Kashuk, which is by far one of my most favourite units in the whole of Civ 5. So let's get to that.
The sword of the stone handle is rightwise king, born of all England.
So upon researching chivalry, you'll unlock the Mongolian unique unit, the Chechik. The Chechik of course replaces the knight, and similar, a while back we had the Arabian Camel Archer, very similar to that unit, in the fact that it is a ranged combat unit. It has 15 combat strength compared to the knight's 20, however it has a range strength of 16. The Kashuk also has the unique promotions of Great Generals 1, which allows it to double the amount of points gained through combat. It can move like the Camel Archer after it can attack. It also has the quick study promotion, where it gains 50% more experience from combat. So let's upgrade our two Chariot Archers and our one Horseman. When upgrading to the Keshiks, it is a general good idea to have these units pre-ready, as the Keshik is really what you're aiming for to begin your horde tactics. But it is worthy to note that Chariot Archers are slightly more expensive than Horsemen. However, because the Keshik is a ranged unit, having some, we'll call it pre-loved Chariot Archers in your army, and having already those promotions such as Barrage and so on, means that once you upgrade to Keshiks, you're going to be able to get to the much better promotions without having promotions such as Drill and Shock, which will be useful when they become cavalry, when they upgrade. But for the majority of the time, you want them to be good at the job they're going to be doing, which is ranged combat. So hence, the reason why you would orientate towards having Chariot Archers early on. So let's upgrade them. Only got room for one. How sad. Anyway, financial woes aside, there's our first, and I'm sure first of many, Keshiks. So, as I stated before, a while back we had Arabia and the Chariot and the Camel Archer. In comparison to this unit, which I did compare them to, and they are quite similar in the way they function, they can move after they attack, and you will be enforcing a lot of hidden run tactics. The difference between these units is that the Camel Archer has 2 more combat strength, 5 more range strength. However, the Keshik is 1 movement faster. And also the Keshik has these unique promotions, which I believe gives it just the trumps on the Camel Archer. Means it can sort of run around a bit more than that Camel Archer, and it will be more experienced, have more promotions than its Arabian counterpart. So to summarize, in terms of social policies, ideologies and religion, in terms of social policies, honor is definitely the way to go down here, if not just for warrior code so you can get a free Khan, which is absolutely fantastic. It is an amazing great general replacement, a medic and an actual great general that can keep up with pace with your horde of Keshiks. As well as that, general domination policies do apply. Into commerce is a good idea to keep funding your army, liberty or tradition, depending on your circumstances. In terms of ideology, autocracy all the way. There's no doubt about it. Mongolia is designed for domination. Anything else, and you're not taking advantage of their unique units. Unless, however, you're in a very bad situation like me, and you have no one to conquer. We'll have to see as I keep playing. Finally, in terms of religion, I would choose something, and it's not essential to have your own religion, but I would pick one or follow one that gives you lots of happiness bonuses, just to counter the problem that most warmongers have of having too many conquered cities which produce too much unhappiness. So to summarize their units, as I've stated, the Khan is an absolutely fantastic great general replacement. It can keep pace with your Keshiks, which are your absolute priority unit, therefore prioritize beeline to cavalry, so the chivalry. As well as the Khan keeping pace with these units, it can also serve as a unit to keep as a medic, making sure that your front lines are nicely healed up. And that sort of gets to the problem of when generally in your late games, where you have units with too many great generals and you've got no idea what to use them for. Having lots of great generals is useful because you have more medics, and if you need to go defensive, of course that means more citadels. The Chechik is by far my favourite unit in all of Civ. It is an absolutely amazing hit and run, absolutely build lots of these to swarm lots and lots of cities. They are an absolutely fantastic unit, and when I do regret upgrading them to cavalry, but they have their time and place. And they will come out with March, meaning they will heal, which essentially removes the whole medic buff from the Khan, making it very, very, very strong medic unit. As well as definitely aiming for the one extra range promotion. I would prioritize the 1 extra range promotion over March, just because you do have the Khan, and when you do upgrade to cavalry, you're already on the way to that promotion anyway, so you might as well get the use out of the range bonus while you can. In terms of playing against Genghis, you have to be aware that he loves to take advantage of his special ability, which is something you probably won't be doing. He will absolutely stomp any nearby city-states near him, and you've got to be aware of what city-states you are prepared to protect and announce to proclaim their protection, because that will lead into conflict and eventual war with Genghis. In terms of diplomacy with Genghis Khan, he can be a loyal ally. If he starts friendly, he can stay friendly. However, think about this logically, he is an absolute warmonger, and if you're the nearest civ to him, or perhaps the only civ, then he's absolutely going to come and have a tussle with you. So overall, Mongolia is an absolute domination civ, and they really earn the name of the Golden Horde through the use of their Kashuks and Khans, an absolutely fantastic combo, like Legion and Ballista. So, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for another guide coming up next week. That's me, Woolf out. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay tuned for more from Scratch.